everyone, it's me Nita and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be bringing you guys along with me on prepping for a very big market that is going to be happening tomorrow. So I have a ton of stuff that I have to prep for. I have not prepped for anything for this market. I just got so incredibly busy with orders. My husband, he just started a new business making custom t-shirts for people for wholesale, and we just have been so busy doing that I just haven't had time to pick up the camera and start prepping for this market that's tomorrow. So it is currently 9 p.m. right now. So far today I've been printing a bunch of t-shirts. I do plan on taking a variety of t-shirts with me to the market, and then I'm also going to be making tote bags using my DTG machine. I'm also going to be sewing up some scrunchies. This market that I'm going to be attending is going to be a peach market, or peach festival I should say. So I want to make some peach scrunchies and then kind of just make a bunch of different new ones. I do have a couple new prints that I want to make tonight along with the peach print. And then I also need to restock on a bunch of my popular prints that usually sell well at markets. So I'm not sure how many scrunchies I'm going to be able to get through tonight, just because I still have a ton of stuff to do. So besides scrunchies, I want to do a few tumblers, and then I want to do some keychains if I'm able to. Maybe I'll have time for that, I'm not sure. But right now I'm just focusing on doing t-shirts. I am going to be doing some onesies later on in this video. Stick around if you're into that kind of stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and get back to work. My DTG printer just finished up printing out a shirt, so I'm going to get a new shirt loaded onto the machine. I'm going to heat press that one as well. Oh, I also have to embroider some hats tonight. I'm going to be taking a bunch of different smiley face type of hats with me, and then I also want to take some peach hats as well, and then possibly some hats that say like just peachy on them. I'm trying to be like really festive and come to this market with a bunch of different peach designs in hopes that they sell well and are super popular at this festival. So but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get back to work, and then I'll check back in with you guys and I'll show you guys what I have accomplished. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of these shirts. Alright guys, so I just wanted to check in with you guys. So I got a good amount of scrunchies done. I don't have like the threads all cut. I'm going to wait to do that tomorrow because we have to be there to set up at 7. But the market doesn't open till 10, so we're going to have about like 2.5 hours of just downtime. So I'll cut all the threads for the scrunchies tomorrow. We still need to embroider a bunch of hats. We're working on that right now. Same for those. I'll trim all the threads tomorrow while we're just sitting there. We got a bunch of shirts made. We still have a little stack left. Once I'm done with this stack though, I'm gonna start doing tote bags, but I really love how this design turned out. We just did a lot of dark colored designs because we didn't want to use any pre-treat on any of these shirts because we're trying to make as many shirts as we can, and adding that step of pre-treat just takes up so much time. So if we're just doing colors that don't need like a white underbase, we don't have to use any pre-treat. So luckily these designs print out very quickly, so we're able to get a lot done. We have a lot of shirts, so I'm really excited to see how well we do tomorrow. So we're gonna refocus on getting the hats done. Once these shirts are done, I'm gonna get some totes going on the machine. I don't think I'll have time to do any tumblers tonight because we still have so much to do. So I probably won't take any tumblers with me, but we'll have a ton of shirts, a ton of cute new scrunchies, tote bags, hats. So I think we'll be set on a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back to work. I'll try and check in with you guys before I go to bed. But I am definitely gonna show you guys how I set up my booth tomorrow. I'm also going to give you guys like a recap of like what sold, how much money I made, all that stuff. So definitely stay tuned for the rest of this video. Give this video a like if you are enjoying it so far, and comments down below how you think this market will go. Hopefully we do good tomorrow. I'm hoping we do well. This market is supposed to have 5,000 people, so that's a lot of traffic. So I'm just hoping we get a ton of traffic to our booth. I feel like we're gonna have so much stuff that it's going to attract buyers is what I'm hoping. So I'm gonna go ahead and just refocus, get back to work, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, good morning. It's the morning of the event. It's currently 6:40 in the morning. We woke up at 5 this morning. We only got like a few hours of sleep. I wasn't able to finish everything on my list, but we got most of the stuff that we wanted to get finished. We got all the shirts done, all the tote bags done, all the scrunchies that I wanted to get done. I wasn't able to finish all of them, but I got most of them done. And we got a couple hats done as well. So we have a bunch of stuff. Luckily we already had some stuff prepped from the previous market. Not a ton because that last market like wiped us out. And sorry if there's weird noises. I'm sitting in the car right now and there's like a car wash next to me. So we're supposed to get to our spot at 7:05. We have 15 minutes to unload our car, and then we have to take our car and park it somewhere. It's 6:40, and we wanted to get there early just to like not be last minute, and we got there and nobody's there. So we just ran up to one of the gas stations that's near the event just to get some more change, just in case any customers pay with cash. But yeah, I'm hoping today does really well. It's gonna be about 90 today, so it is gonna be hot, but it's not gonna be too hot. The last festival that I went to, it was over 100, so I'll take 90 over that any day. So hopefully it's not too harsh under the sun. We did bring a ton of water with us, and we have a long wait. The event doesn't start till 10, so we're just going to be sitting there trimming some hats and scrunchies while we wait. Trying to conserve my battery as well because I need my phone to be able to do card transactions. But when I get there, I will film or show you guys what my booth looks like, and then let you guys know how I do today. Okay guys, so the market hasn't officially started yet, but I wanted to check in with you guys. We got the booth all set up, and basically now we're just waiting. We have, what time is it? We have about 40 minutes before the actual market starts. There are people already walking by and looking at some of the stuff that we have. But I'm hoping once the market officially starts, it'll start getting busy, but I'll check back in later with you guys. Alright guys, so it's been about a week later since like the last time I talked to you guys. I just have been so busy with work and working on orders that I just haven't had time to pick up the camera and finish filming this video. But actually, to kind of give you guys like a mini recap, we did really well at that market. The best we've done. I'm going to give you guys like a breakdown of what sold and how much we made a little later in this video, but actually we did so well at that market that we're actually going to go back to that same spot because they do like a weekly farmers market. So we kind of want to go see how their farmers market is. So I will give you guys a little breakdown after today's market, and I'll kind of give you guys like a comparison of a festival versus just like a farmer's market at the same location. There'll probably be a big difference on how much we made, probably about half we'll probably make, hopefully. If I make half of what I made last weekend, I would be extremely happy. So this whole week we prepped a bunch of stuff for this market because at the last festival we went to, we sold out of all the tote bags, almost all of the hats, and a lot of the shirts we sold as well. So Eric prepped a bunch of shirts. I prepped a ton of tote bags. I'll kind of show you guys later what kind of tote bags I made. I just bought a bunch off SS Activewear for like $1.50. So I bought like 50 of them. I probably printed on like 30 or 40 of them. So we're taking a bunch. I didn't prep any scrunchies just because I already have so many prepped. So I didn't make any of those. And then we just prepped a ton of hats. Like a ton of hats. Like I spent all day yesterday on top of working on orders. I was working on hats as well. So I'm exhausted. I'm definitely going to be taking next weekend off, but I kind of wanted to see how a weekend or a farmer's market looks at like this specific spot, this venue or whatever. So hopefully we do good today. I feel like we have more stuff this time than we did last time. It was packed at that festival. So I don't really know what to expect at this farmer's market. We talked to a few of the vendors there and they said that they go to the weekly farmer's market and they always do good. One guy said he makes around $600 to $1,000 per farmer's market that he does there. So I'm excited to see how we do. Hopefully we do good, but I will definitely give you guys a recap of what sold at both markets and how much I made at the festival and then how much I'm making at this farmer's market today. I wasn't planning on this video on being 2 market vlogs or whatever, but time got away from me and I didn't have time to film. So I figure I would just throw this little bit in to wrap up the video. And we have a bunch of markets planned for the remaining of the year. I started already planning and putting what markets I want to go to on the calendar. So we're going to have a busy rest of the year. Yeah, so I'm excited. But I will check it back in with you guys. I'll be filming on my phone, so the quality won't be as good. So Eric's dropping the kids off. When he gets back, we're going to quickly load up the car and then head out. I'm running on like 2 hours of sleep, if that. I had a horrible headache before going to bed, and we got a new kitten as well, and she's such a cuddle bug that she just wanted to cuddle all night right on top of my face, to where I didn't get no sleep with my bad headache and her. I didn't get any sleep last night, so I'm really tired. I'm hoping when I get back I'll be able to take a little nap because I am running on fumes right now. But I'm gonna go ahead, shut the camera off, and check back in with you guys in a little bit. Okay guys, so I'm back. It's been probably like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks since I've recorded that last footage. So I'm gonna go over how I did at both of these markets. I'm gonna give you a little market recap. I'm gonna tell you what sold, what didn't sell really well. I'm also gonna tell you how much I made and give you some tips and tricks as well, just from what I learned from these two markets and from my other markets that I have done. Just to give you guys a heads up, my kids are in the other room, so you are gonna hear them in the background. So nothing I could do about it, so hopefully it's not too distracting. So we took the last 2 weekends off from doing markets because we have Jackson's birthday coming up, and then just because of the heat and everything, we just kind of needed to take a break. But we do have some markets planned for September, which I'm really excited about. So make sure to keep a lookout for those market videos. And then we pretty much are booked. We have markets planned for the remaining of the year. So I'm really excited to see how well we do this market season, considering we kind of now know what we have to do to be successful at these markets. So I'm really excited for the remaining of the year. But I'm gonna go ahead and just get into how much we made at these markets and what sold. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the Peach Festival. I did the Peach Festival, and then the following weekend I did their farmers market that they host every weekend at the same spot as the Peach Festival. So the booth fee for that was $75, which is pretty good. And considering how popular the event was and how busy the event was, paying $75 just to go to this event was well worth it. It was very busy at one point. We had so many people just in our tent looking at our stuff to where it was like packed. Eric was talking to a group of people trying to take their order. I was talking to a group of people trying to take their order. And then just the walkway itself was like shoulder to shoulder. Like there was just so many people at this event, and for how many people there were at this event, $75 was totally worth it. So at this market we sold a ton of tote bags. I sold out of my tote bags within probably like the first hour, and I just had some just basic tote bags that said like peachy on it or sweet peach, and then I had a few other ones as well, and all the tote bags sold out just like instantly. Another big seller too were the hats. It was very hot that day, and people, again, they forget to bring their hats, and they weren't prepared for the heat and for the sun. So I sold quite a bit of hats. Same for scrunchies too. People wanted to buy scrunchies to put their hair up, and there were just it was a big family event, so there were a ton of kids, a ton of teenagers. So we just had a lot of families in our booth, and all the little girls and moms and stuff, they all wanted scrunchies. The peach scrunchies sold really well. Surprisingly, my Halloween scrunchies that I did sold really well too. I wasn't anticipating my Halloween scrunchies to sell as well because it's not Halloween yet, but I had a ton of people buy like all my little eyeball scrunchies that I made. The spider ones sold really well, so I'm hoping that I can find more of that spider fabric. I got that at Joann's, and then the eyeball fabric I purchased off Etsy, so I'm definitely gonna be buying more of those two prints because those were really popular. And then also our shirts sold really well too. I sold out of most of my peachy designs. I sold out of most of my checkered smiley face shirts, and then we had a few other shirts that sold really well as well, but we sold a ton of t-shirts at this market, and we regretted not bringing more sizes. Hats, tote bags, scrunchies, and t-shirts sold incredibly well for us, so we know that those are going to be the things that we mostly focus on when going to the market. When I first started doing markets, I focused primarily on just doing scrunchies, and I did okay with selling scrunchies, but you really have to have a variety of things in your booth and really have your booth full of items. So bringing a lot of inventory has helped us a lot. So we're gonna continue just bringing those top 4 items because those just sell really well. I did sell one tumbler. Like, tumblers are not my biggest seller, but I don't have that many too at my table. I think I only have like 5 or 6 at a time on my table, so I definitely need to figure out how I can display them better, and also just have a bunch of tumblers too. So I definitely need to bring more of those next time. So for this Peach Festival, it was just an amazing turnout. All the items that we had for the most part did really well, and we sold out of a lot of things by the end of the event, but this market, I was not expecting to do this well. I was expecting a good turnout just because it's an annual thing, so this type of festival goes on every year, so you just have a bunch of regulars that come and they promote the event amazingly. So the market was promoted very well. We ended up making around $1,500 from this event. Like I didn't anticipate making that much. I thought maybe we'd make around like $600 because that's how much we made at the Taco and Margarita Festival. So I thought we would probably make the same amount of money, and we ended up doubling that and more. So I was shocked. Just like, I don't even, like, people just kept coming in. They asked for the price, I would tell them, and then they would just buy. It wasn't like, my customers didn't have like a second, like they didn't really like sit and think about, oh, do I really need this? Do I want to purchase this? They just looked at it, asked the price, and paid the money. It was like the easiest transactions that I've ever had. I felt like I didn't really have to like push my product too much on the customer. The customer just saw it and liked it and just purchased it. So it was really nice. That market just really got me and Eric really motivated on continuing to do more markets, because if we do one of those markets once a month and we do well like that every time, like that's a good chunk of money. So I don't expect to make that much every time I go to a festival, but if I can get half of that, I would be more than happy, honestly. So let's go ahead now and let's talk about the farmers market. Now the farmers market is at the same spot, the same venue as we did the Peach Festival. We wanted to see how well their farmer markets do, because they're weekly, they're always on the weekend. You get the same group of people every time. It's just like a regular event for people to go to, and they bring their family, and it was a fun event to attend. For that booth fee, it was only $45, so that is very affordable for a booth fee. I'm trying to keep all the booths that I do under $100. If I do have to pay for a booth that's over $100, I definitely want to make sure that I bring way more inventory, just so you can kind of recoup that money back. But for $45, I feel like that was a really good deal. And very affordable too. So at this farmers market, we mostly sold hats, scrunchies, and our shirts. Surprisingly, I didn't sell as many tote bags as I do when I do festivals. I noticed that I sell a ton of bags at these festivals, because people, they're walking around, they're purchasing things from other booths, and they don't have bags to carry everything. So they kind of will stop by, see the bag, ask how much it is. And because they're so affordable, because they're so easy to make, I can buy them for $1.50 online. I can do my DTG printer. I don't have to use any pre-treat or anything on the tote bags. So it's just a quick, easy print, and it's just, I could make a ton of them in such a short amount of time. So because my tote bags are affordable, people, will buy them. But I noticed that at the farmers market, I didn't sell as many, because the people that were going to these farmer markets, they were prepared for the market, because they already knew that they were going to be buying produce and things. So they came prepared with their own bags. And I saw a lot of cool like produce bags that I was very interested in, but they just came prepared with bags. So they didn't really need to purchase any bags from me. But because it's hot and it is a family, like they bring their kids and stuff, I noticed that I sold a ton of hats and a ton of scrunchies as well. Shirts did pretty well too, not as good as the festival, just because I feel like I didn't have them themed enough. So I think when I do farmers markets, I need to try and incorporate shirt designs that are either for that season, or try and think of shirt designs that would go well with like a farmer market themed design on it. I don't know, but I have to sit and come up with some t-shirt designs for t-shirts for farmers markets. It's easy to come up with t-shirt ideas for festivals because you can just find designs that go along with whatever festival you're doing. So I feel like that's a little easier to plan for farmers markets. I have to kind of like sit and think about how can I come up with designs that will interest that market or those group of people. And then at that market we made around $400, so I didn't make as much as I wanted, but honestly $400 I'm happy with because we were only out there too for like 3 hours, maybe 4 hours. We weren't out there for very long, so $400 isn't that bad, but I definitely need to think about what type of stuff will sell better at a market, like a farmer's market versus a festival. So I kind of have to sit and make a game plan for planning out different things that I take to each of those type of events. So really just sit and think about what type of stuff you can bring for that specific event. I think that'll help get more sales. So yeah, so we did pretty good. So within a week we made $1,900 with doing both of those festivals. So making almost $2 grand in a week just from doing 2 markets is pretty good. So we're definitely gonna keep looking for bigger events and trying to fit in farmers markets here and there whenever we have time. We definitely want to try and do more farmers markets once the weather starts to cool down and once it gets closer to like November-ish, because people are going to be shopping for gifts, and I think the stuff that we offer are perfect gifts for people. So I think we'll do really well during that time of year. So we are just gonna really sit and game plan on like what type of stuff we're gonna bring, what type of designs we're gonna do. I'm really excited to see how well we do when we go to these markets during like the holiday season. But I wanted to give you guys like a little kind of recap too of what I learned from these 2 events, and kind of give you guys some tips on what you guys can do if you are looking for ideas for a market or just want to try and get more sales at markets. I'm gonna give you guys like 5 tips on what you can do to try and get more sales at markets. So my big thing, I would probably say my #1 tip is make sure you have inventory. You want to make sure that you have like a bunch of things prepped for the market, because you know, if you only have like $200 worth of inventory, you probably won't make that much money when you go to a market. So you want to bring a lot of inventory. I think that we brought around probably like $5 grand worth of inventory. So that's a potential of making $5 grand at a market if we sold out of everything. So, you know, if you want to bring $200 worth of product, you won't make that much at a market. So if you want to make a decent amount, make sure you are bringing the inventory. And I also noticed bringing a variety of different things to these markets has helped out a lot. Before I was just focusing on just like scrunchies and like keychains. Those are small priced items, so I definitely want to plan out more expensive items as well, just to have a variety of different things, have different price points for customers, and try and just offer as much stuff as I can for everybody. So bringing t-shirts, I can bring adult size shirts and kid size shirts. I have a ton of onesies that I want to use my DTG printer on, so I'm going to be DTGing on those to take with me to a market. So having stuff for adults and having stuff for kids is always awesome. Having different types of accessories is awesome. But if you want to just focus on one thing for your booth, you could totally do that. Like if you're a candle business, you can offer like candles, wax melts, and just different things like that. But I would try and incorporate other things that you can offer in your booth that kind of go with like your main theme. So that's one thing, is having a ton of inventory. And another thing about having a ton of inventory, it makes your booth look full. So when people walk by, they're gonna see a ton of stuff. They're gonna see a full booth, and that's gonna attract customers. If you just have one table with like a few items on it, a lot of people most likely won't stop and look at your booth. They'll just walk right past it. So you wanna make sure that you have a full booth with as much stuff as you can take with you, and just try and make your booth look really full. And to kind of piggyback off of that, another tip that I would have is just making sure that you have your display planned out. You can always do like a mock display before the event to kind of see like how you want to display the items on your tables, how you want to display them on racks. So currently right now we have 2 tables and 2 different racks. So we have one table that's strictly just for scrunchies, and then we have another table that's for hats and our tumblers, and then we have racks for our clothing items. So I want to make sure that my racks look super full, but I don't want them to be overly full to where it's hard for customers to kind of go through and look through the racks. I also like to hang up some of like the shirt designs that I think will be the most popular. I like to hang those around my canopy, my little tent, which I definitely recommend getting. It's a big game changer when it's hot outside, cold outside, and it just kind of draws attention to your booth too, because it's just, you have a tent, people are gonna notice it more versus just having a table. So I definitely recommend investing in a tent and weights for your tent as well. So having just a good display setup, having your stuff displayed out nicely, having everything look full but not cluttered. So having different like displays would be really helpful for customers. I had like a basket full of just the peach scrunchies, so customers would really immediately notice that and probably grab one because they want some type of souvenir for the event. For my scrunchies, I have them on boards, so I have them elevated so customers will notice that when they walk by. They'll see the scrunchies displayed up on the boards because they're up high, so that'll draw in attention. My hats do really well at events, but I noticed that my display for my hats isn't the best. So I offer a variety of different hats, different colors. So I think the best thing for me would be to try and figure out a display of being able to have different levels for the hats, so that can kind of draw in customers when they walk past my booth and notice the hats. Same thing for tumblers. I just have my tumblers just like displayed just on the table, and I want to try and find displays where I can have them like tiered up, kind of like a staircase almost for my tumblers. I think that'll look really good for them and kind of draw more attraction to those. So I really have to focus on my hat display and my tumbler display. My racks, they're really good. I actually just purchased a new rack from Big Lots. I'll show you guys really fast. Okay, so I got this rack. This one's different than the ones that we have for my booth. We just have basic racks, and I'll have those linked down below for you guys so you can check those out. I have racks that are just 1 level. These have 2. So I'm thinking I might use this rack for my kids' clothing. So having like my kids' shirts and like my bummies, my bell bottoms on little hangers for the bottom. And then my other 2 racks, I'll use those for my adult t-shirts. So if you're gonna be offering t-shirts, I feel like displays like this or racks are really helpful. And when you're picking out racks too, you wanna make sure that you can easily put them together and take them apart as well. So the racks that I have and this one that I purchased, you are able to take them apart. So I have like a little plastic bin where I keep all my pieces to my racks all in that bin, and they are able to be put together really quickly, and I can take them apart really quick as well. The racks too, they're also really light and just compactable, so I'm able to fit those in my car, so that's really nice. So I'm excited to test that rack out. Hopefully it works out. It was the same price I think as the other 2 racks that I purchased off Amazon, but I will definitely let you guys know in a future video what I think about that rack. Another thing too for your booth is I would have prices for some of your items. You don't have to do all of your items. You could do all of your items, but I just have prices for like my scrunchies, but I don't have prices for my hats or my tumblers, so I don't know if that affects me when it comes to sales with that. But it also gives me an opportunity to talk with my customers because they always ask how much is this item, and that gives me a chance to talk with them and to kind of describe the item that they're looking at a little bit more, and try and just, you know, entice them to purchase from me. So I would have pricing at your booth. Again, I only have pricing up for my scrunchies, so I definitely will do pricing for my hats and tumblers for my next market, and I'll let you guys know if that affects my sales in any way. Also too, another thing is I would try and offer like bundle deals. So if a customer buys like 2 shirts, give them a bundle deal. With my scrunchies, they're $5 a piece, but I do a deal where they can buy 2 get 1 free or do 3 for $10. And every single time a customer will buy at least 2, so they always will get that free scrunchie instead of just buying the 1 scrunchie. They're more inclined, or they will more likely purchase another scrunchie. So you're having group bundles is a great way to get more sales if you're able to. I know if you have like your pricing already so low and you don't really have room for to do special deals like that, maybe possibly you should increase your prices just by a little bit to where you can afford to offer group bundles like that, because I feel like customers will more likely buy more of something if there's some type of deal. I feel like this video is gonna be super long, so I'm so sorry guys, but let's go ahead and talk about my I guess the deals was a tip, so that would be my 3rd tip. But my 4th tip that I have for you guys is offer as many different payment methods as you possibly can. Definitely, if you're able to, I would use PayPal. That's what I prefer to use. Venmo is really easy for customers to use. I know some people, they say don't use Venmo, but I use Venmo, and I like using Venmo. And then I also have a Square card reader. I actually got that from Etsy because I have an Etsy shop. I actually got that for free. So you can actually get one through Etsy for free, and every time you get a sale at a market, that sale counts as an Etsy sale. So if you are just new and starting out on Etsy, doing markets and having the Square card reader is a great way for you to be able to get Etsy sales. Another one that I have customers constantly ask me about that I don't unfortunately offer, which I might end up offering, I just have to figure it out, is Apple Pay. So I always have customers asking if I offer Apple Pay. I don't, but I feel like that's something that I should be offering. So I'm definitely gonna be looking into that. So I definitely would say PayPal, Venmo, some type of card reader. It doesn't have to be Square. I know there's other ones that are probably better. I personally like using Square, and then Apple Pay. Also, if you're using PayPal, Venmo, I would have those little, and you can download them from the Venmo website and the PayPal website, is like a little scanner. So the customer just opens up their phone and scans the little barcode or whatever, and they're able to send you the money through PayPal or through Venmo, just by scanning the little, I don't know what they're called. I can't think about what the little thing's called, but they just scan it and they instantly will send you money. So I love doing that. It's super easy. I just have like a little display of my little code, and they just scan it and they pay that way. So it's super easy to do it that way. And then if you're offering cash, just make sure you have enough change, because I've noticed that I will quickly run out of 5s and 10s, and then I can always use 1s as well. But definitely make sure you have a bunch of change to be able to do those cash transactions as well. And if you guys recommend any other forms of paying, definitely leave those down in the comments below, because I would love to try and offer as many ways for customers to pay, because if a customer doesn't use PayPal or Venmo and doesn't have any cash, could potentially be a lost customer. So just make sure you have a variety of different ways for customers to be able to pay. You want to make it as easiest as possible for customers to check out. You don't want it to be a hassle. You want it quick and you want it easy. Another thing too is, and I kind of talked about this a little bit before, is having themed items in your booth for whatever event you're doing. So for example, when I did the taco and margarita festival, I made sure and I brought tote bags that had some type of taco or margarita themed. Those sold out like quickly. I had tumblers that were margarita and taco themed. Those sold out quickly. Taco scrunchies, those sold out quickly. I wish I would have had taco hats. Those probably would have done really well. And then for the Peach Festival, all the peach tote bags sold out. On my peachy themed shirts did really well. I did my peach scrunchies. Those did very well, because I feel like when customers go to these, or when people go to these events or these festivals, they want some type of souvenir to be able to remember the event by. So I think planning and trying to think of things that will go along with that festival or that theme of whatever market you're at will help customers want to purchase something from you because they want some type of souvenir to be able to remember that event. Now for like a farmer's market, I planned a bunch of tote bags that were, that had funny, cute phrases on them that were vegetable or fruit related. I definitely probably should put those same designs on t-shirts, and I'm sure those would probably sell well, so I'm probably going to try that out for my next market. But having some type of vegetable or fruit theme or item at a farmer's market would probably do very well as well. And also try and think of things that customers will need when they're at this event. So at festivals, depending on the weather, they'll need like either a hat if it's really hot to try and keep the sun out of their eyes or off their face. If it's cold, maybe they'll want to buy a beanie or a sweatshirt. I know I am horrible at judging on when I need a sweatshirt or when I don't need a sweatshirt because I can get hot really easily and I get cold really easily. So I usually always forget to bring some type of sweatshirt whenever I go to some type of event or some type of outdoor thing. And I always get really cold and I always end up buying a sweatshirt from wherever I'm at. So having items for that season or for that weather is a good idea because they can go to a market and be freezing and then maybe they'll buy a sweatshirt or a crew neck sweatshirt from you because you're the only one at this event offering that type of stuff. Also, another thing too that I kind of want to try out, and I noticed that it works for other booths, is during the hot season, there was a booth at the Margarita Festival that I went to. They had a mister that was in front of their booth. So anytime someone would walk by, they would get misted with like water, and it like cooled you, it like immediately cooled you off. And by having those customers go and stand near that mister, they're automatically right by your booth, and that gives you a great opportunity to either invite them into your booth to get out of the heat, out of the sun, or just to invite them in and have them look at stuff, or just to start up a conversation with them, asking them how they're liking the event, are they having fun, things like that. So definitely something that could draw in attention, like a mister, would probably be really good for a booth. Also music, if you're able to have music in your booth, I would definitely play some music to kind of go with your theme or your vibe that you're trying to give for your booth. I feel like music would be really good to draw in attention, and that's something that I kind of want to try out for a market or a future market, especially for like Christmas. I would love to have like a completely decorated booth that's super festive and Christmas themed and have like Christmas music playing in the background. Like, I'm not gonna play it super loud so it's obnoxious, but just kind of have some music playing in the background at a low level just to kind of try and set a vibe for my whole booth, and that will probably bring in customers. So having things like that to help draw in customers is another tip that I suggest testing out or trying out for your next market. All right guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Definitely stay tuned for more market videos. We have so many markets to plan and prep for, so definitely just keep a lookout for any upcoming market vlogs or market preps. I always like to do a little recap and let you guys know how much I make and what's sold, and tell you guys all about it just so you guys can get an idea of what to expect about doing farmers markets or craft fairs or pop-up shops. And another thing I wanted to mention to you guys before I end this video, if you guys are wanting to take t-shirts and sell t-shirts at a craft fair or a farmers market, but you don't have the time or the energy to make all the shirts, my husband owns a print shop called Ready Print Shop. I'll have his Instagram linked down below, and he's also offering a special for my YouTube followers for t-shirts. So if you're wanting to take t-shirts to a market, or you want t-shirts to sell on your Etsy or on your website but you don't want to make them to save yourself time, or if you don't have the equipment to be able to do full color designs, definitely go check his Instagram out, go give him a follow. And he is offering, again, a deal for my followers. For white t-shirts, you can get 10 t-shirts for $120 with free shipping. The t-shirts are Gildan. You can either choose from ultra cotton or a soft style, and then you can get dark colors as well. He has a special for dark colors. If you buy 10 for $180 with free shipping. Just give him a message on his Instagram. I am probably going to try and get a link on my website for you to be able to purchase this bundle deal on my website. I just haven't had time to upload that to my website, so keep a lookout for that. But if you're needing shirts, definitely go give him a follow, message him on his Instagram, and he'll be able to help you out. Again, you can get 10 white shirts for $120, or you can get 10 dark colored shirts for $180, and they all come with free shipping. Make sure though when you message him that you tell him that you're a follower of me, so just mention my name and we'll give you the group discount with the free shipping. And then if you have any questions too about what type of images you can upload or get printed on shirts, definitely give him a message and he'll be able to help you out with any questions you may have. You'll need a PNG image that has no background, 300 DPI, and then also too, if you want to get sizes like 2XL and 3XL, it is a $2 upcharge, just because those shirts are much more expensive, surprisingly, than just like the small through extra large size shirts. So definitely give him a message if you guys have any questions or are interested in this deal, and use the code NITAFAJITA and we'll get you all set up with t-shirts for your next market or for your Etsy shop. So definitely message him. But I think that's it for this video. It is a pretty long one, I feel like, a super chatty one. And again, sorry for the background noise. I can't do anything about it. I'm a stay-at-home mompreneur with 2 toddlers, so it's not quiet in my house. And I have 4 pets too, so it's never quiet in my home. So just so you guys know, that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure to like, subscribe if you guys want to see more of this type of content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.